Welcome everyone to this program Mayor on the Spot, organized by Fusion Halifax. Before we start today, I would like to acknowledge that we are in Shiboktugar, Halifax's Mi'kma'ki, unceded and ancestral territory of Mi'kmaq people. As treaty people, we have all the responsibility to uphold the peace and friendship treaties. It is also important to recognize the African Nova Scotian community as we work to address systematic injustice and inequities. Something about Fusion Halifax. We are a volunteer-run non-profit organization active in Halifax community for the last 13 years. Fusion Halifax believes young leaders are incredibly valuable part of our community. Fusion's purpose is to empower young professionals so that they can connect, grow, and thrive to improve our communities. We represent approximately 3,000 young professionals living and working in HRM across various sectors and career stages. Thank you, Mayor candidate Matt Whitman, for joining us today. Young professionals of Halifax would love to hear from you. And we'll hand over to Caitlin for the rest of the program.
So hello, everyone. Again, welcome to Mayor on the Spot. And we're so excited to have Matt Whitman with us today, who will be here to answer some questions to help inform voters as we approach the 2020 HRM municipal elections. So Matt, would you please introduce yourself and some key highlights of your platform priorities?
Sure thing. Greetings, everybody. I'm no stranger to Fusion. I've been involved for about 13 years. I used to be the president of the Junior Chamber of Commerce in Halifax and grew it to the largest junior chamber in Canada. And so I appreciate your organization and the movement. I'm a family guy. I have a son who's 22 who just graduated from Acadia and a daughter who's 19. I'm born and brewed here in HRM. I'm a big fan of all corners of HRM: Dartmouth, Sackville, Bedford, Porters Lake, Spryfield, Fairview, Hammonds Plains, all of it. And I'm pleased to be running for mayor. I was first elected with Mayor Savage back in 2012, and we were both re-elected in 2016. We're friends. We have a mutual respect for each other, and we just happen to be running for the same job this time. My platform is based on three pillars: past, present, and future. The past is about honoring and celebrating everyone's heritage, everybody's. And the present is about making this the most livable, safe, successful city in Canada. And the future is about sustainable growth that protects the environment and is a safe place to grow up. I believe that we need a mayor who has passion, energy, and focus, and I have those three traits. And I think that coupled with my love of HRM will make me an excellent mayor.
Thank you very much. Now, what do you believe is the primary role for the mayor of Halifax, and why are you the best person to accomplish this?
Thank you for the question. I think the primary role is to lead by example, to help set strategy, and to help encourage others to also lead. I think that we're all leaders, and so on whatever file, whatever issue we have, I think that the mayor helps to set the tone. And I've had 8 years of successful leadership in District 13, and most recently in the past 4 years, I've been hearing from residents from all over HRM, all corners, that are talking to me about their issues and their situation. So I've gained a lot of knowledge about HRM and the concerns of HRM. I think the mayor sets the tone for council and helps set the tone for success for the municipality.
Thank you. Now, what do you believe are the biggest opportunities as well as the challenges for HRM for the next 5 years?
I would say the biggest opportunities haven't changed. Even with COVID pandemic, our opportunities are still our people, our students that come from HRM and from across Canada and around the globe. And we need to help those students succeed here in the municipality. Help international students stay and feel welcome right here in HRM. I think those are our opportunities. We're really on a growth trajectory. I've been here for 8 years, and I've been 1/17 of the votes for these new buildings and the jobs and all the exciting things that have happened. I would say that the weakness, or what scares me about things is coming out of pandemic, the spending. And I think federally, we're on a huge spending spree, provincially, and of course municipally. We can't spend our way out of this pandemic, and I think that a lot of the spending is going to be attached to our children and to our grandchildren, and we'll be paying for this for decades to come. So I guess managing the growth, making sure no one gets left behind, including affordable housing and lots of job opportunities, but not at the expense of the environment and of our most important people.
My next question is, what do you believe the priorities are for young professionals in Halifax? And if elected, what will you do to address these priorities?
I've talked to a lot of young professionals. I have been outdoor knocking. I've been in every corner of HRM. Seems like most young professionals want to live in downtown Halifax or downtown Dartmouth. And so they want to be close to where their work is. So a priority is a job, number one. Secondly, I think is a place to live. So young professionals want a place to work, to live, and to have some fun. And Halifax is a fun place. It's safe. And so those are the priorities. I think that what concerns are and what could risk that would be, how do we come out of this this pandemic, and do we survive it, and will there be jobs, and will there be places to live affordably? And a lot of that is currently a question mark for young folks. So what will I do is help businesses grow, help reduce the risk and the red tape from City Hall, speed up the permitting process, help speed up approval so that there be more businesses, more places to live, more places to work, and be a partner to private sector rather than a roadblock.
So you've touched on this briefly in your most recent response, but what are some of the main challenges that COVID-19 has raised for the HRM? And as a mayor, how would you navigate this pandemic going forward?
Yeah, thank you. I've been very outspoken about the way that we've handled the pandemic. Our top bureaucrat, our CIO, was the one that made the decision to make transit free. That was not a decision made by council. Transit was free. The people on transit back in March, April, May didn't have masks on. The front of the bus was taped off for the driver, and all the passengers were crammed in the back without masks. And that was a big mistake. We should have made transit continue to charge, and we should have had masks on people. So sooner would have been smart. We also made, still there? My phone is on low, so I'll speak fast. Also, we made parking free across the municipality, which cost us a lot as well. We know that businesses are having a tough time paying their property tax, and I think that we need to do a better job accommodating small businesses. I think coming out of COVID, there's going to be fewer businesses, small businesses, fewer jobs, and I think that people are going to have to be nimble and be able to really weave to survive going forward.
Okay, for this question, you do have a longer response time if you wish. Now, over the past year, there have been many calls on the HRM Council to respond to social and environmental issues, such as action against climate change, defunding the police, and addressing systemic racism for Black, Indigenous, and people of color. If elected, how will you engage with these and other issues, particularly in partnership with communities?
Yeah, thank you. The defund police movement is very frustrating for me. I'm in favor of defending the police. They do a very tough, necessary job. I'm in favor of supporting our first responders and especially our police. I don't think racism is a problem in our police force. I think it's the same amount of problems as it is with our dentists and with our lawyers and with our accountants. It's an issue, and I think that the key is education and respect, two-way respect. Respect our police, and the police will respect the rest of us. So I'm not a fan of defund police. I know a motion came to the police commission recently to defund police, and no one on the police commission would take credit for bringing that motion there. No one knows who brought the motion, which is very suspicious and discouraging. We don't know what the definition of defund police is. I know my definition of defend police is to help them to do their job and to do it well, and to share respect. The climate, of course, Halifax 2000 is very important, and we need to support the environment. What was the third one?
Just addressing systemic racism for BIPOC communities.
Yeah, I think that the Excuse me? Still there?
Yep, you're good.
I'm just okay. Today's the second day of voting, and my phone is blowing up. It's also my 50th birthday, everybody. So it's crazy. I think the answer for the systemic racism is just inviting people to the table to collaborate and to communicate. Make sure everyone feels welcome and everyone has a voice. I think that's the key for minorities.
Thank you. Now, how do you think your experience on council will influence you should you be successful in your role as mayor?
Yeah, I think that the experience I gained is not just in my district of Hammonds Plains, St. Margaret's Bay, but I've heard from residents all over the municipality. And over the past year in particular, since I announced on October 30th, people have contacted me with their specific issues. So I'm well versed on what's important to people. I know that most of HRM is not concerned about bike lanes, but they're more concerned about how much they're paying in property taxes. So I've been listening for 8 years. I think the first thing that I would do is to get all the councillors that win on a bus and spend a 2-day tour around HRM visiting each district so that councillors can show what they're proud of, what they need help on, and so that all councillors who vote in all districts are up to speed on all the issues. We never did that with Mayor Savage. I think that that's a big thing that could be done better.
And my final question for you is, if you could accomplish 3 things as mayor, what would they be?
Well, I'd love to end homelessness. So I'd like to have affordable housing. We talk about it a lot. I don't think our actions measure our words. I think we need to make sure that that there's a place for people to live and people don't fall through the cracks. So that's number one. I'd like to see more growth. I'm a big fan of development and capitalism. I think that the economy is equally as important as the environment. So I'd like to see more growth, more places to live, more jobs so that people don't have to move away. And I guess thirdly, I'd like Halifax to be a fun, safe, creative place where you can live and be proud of who you are and where you're from and celebrate each other's cultures, and a real inclusive, vibrant city, maybe the most inclusive and vibrant in North America.
Thank you very much for your time and all your responses, especially for taking the time on your birthday, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
All our eligible voters watching, online, phone, and mail-in voting has already started, and advanced voting is October 10th and October 13th, and the final voting day will be October 17th. So make sure you get yourself informed and go vote.